My girlfriend said, "You're too broke to take me on real vacations." I replied, "You're right." Then I spent our vacation fund on stock trading courses. 2 years later, when I bought a Tesla in cash, her attitude about broke suddenly changed. Welcome to Seductive Dreams. It would be so much appreciated if you would subscribe to my channel and like the video. Now, without further ado, let's go. I, 29, male, guess I should have seen the writing on the wall. Monica, 27, and I'd been together for 3 years, living together for 1. I worked as an IT support specialist, making decent money, around $52,000 a year. Not rich, but comfortable enough for a single guy in a mid-sized city. The problem started last summer. Monica's coworker, Vanessa, came back from a 2-week trip to Bali with her boyfriend. Suddenly, our weekend camping trips weren't enough anymore. "Look at these pictures," Monica said, shoving her phone in my face for the 100th time. "Private villas, infinity pools, sunset dinners on the beach. That's what real couples do." "Brian, we went to the coast last month," I reminded her. "Had a great time at that Airbnb." She rolled her eyes. A cabin with no AC is not a vacation. It's poverty tourism. That stung. I'd saved for 3 months for that trip. The complaints escalated. Every time someone on our Instagram posted vacation photos, I'd hear about it. Greece, Dubai, Maldives. Apparently everyone was living their best life except us. "Maybe we could save up for something bigger next year," I suggested one evening. "Save up?" She laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. "Brian, you're 29. If you have to save up for a vacation, you're doing something wrong with your life. I make decent money. You're too broke to take me on real vacations," she interrupted. "I'm tired of pretending that camping and road trips are romantic. They're what poor people do when they can't afford actual travel." I stared at her for a long moment. "You're right." She blinked, surprised. "What?" "You're absolutely right. I'm too broke for the kind of vacations you want." Victory flashed in her eyes. "So, you'll figure something out? Maybe ask for a raise or get a second job?" "Something like that," I said quietly. What Monica didn't know was that I'd been putting aside $200 a month into what I called our future vacation fund. Had about $2,400 saved up, planning to surprise her with a week in Costa Rica for our anniversary. That night, I made a different choice. Update 1. The next morning, I did something Monica would have called stupid poor people stuff. I took that $2,400 and enrolled in an online trading course and market analysis program. Cost me $1,800 for the premium package. Rest went into my first trading account. Monica noticed the vacation fund was gone from our budget spreadsheet. "Where'd the vacation money go?" she demanded. "Invested it," I said. "In what?" "Crypto. Please tell me you didn't fall for some Bitcoin scam." "Education," I replied. "Learning about markets." She laughed so hard she actually snorted. "You spent our vacation money on some online course." "What are you, 12? Those are all scams, Brian." "Maybe." I shrugged. "I can't believe you're this dumb," she said. "My sister's boyfriend just took her to Turks and Caicos. Meanwhile, mine is throwing money at get-rich-quick schemes. It's not get rich quick, it's learning a skill. Whatever helps you sleep at night, broke boy." That became her new nickname for me. Broke boy. She'd say it jokingly in front of friends, family, everyone. "Oh, Brian can't come to the wine tasting. It's not in Broke Boy's budget. Maybe next year we can afford it if Broke Boy's investment education pays off," accompanied by air quotes and eye rolls. I studied every night after work. Monica would be on the couch scrolling through travel influencers while I was at the kitchen table with charts, indicators, and risk management strategies. She'd make snide comments about me playing pretend investor, but I just kept focusing. Started paper trading first. Made every mistake possible with fake money. Lost theoretical thousands before I found my rhythm. Monica had no idea I was actually getting good at this. "My mom thinks you're depressed," she announced one evening, "sitting at that computer all night, obsessed with your little charts. It's sad." "I'm fine. She also thinks I should date someone more ambitious, like Derek." Derek was her CrossFit trainer. "Of course, maybe you should," I said, not looking up from my screens. She huffed and went to bed angry. This was becoming our routine. Update 2. By month 6, I'd turned my initial $600 trading capital into $4,000. Not life-changing, but I was consistently profitable. More importantly, I understood the market now. Risk management, position sizing, reading sentiment, it all clicked. Monica's contempt, meanwhile, had evolved into something uglier. "Stephanie's engaged. She announced showing me the ring on Instagram. Destination wedding in Cabo. Know what her fiancé does? Real estate. Makes real money, not whatever pretend investing you're doing." I glanced at the ring. "Nice, that's all." "Nice. Do you even care that all my friends are getting married and traveling while I'm stuck here?" "You're not stuck. You can leave any time. Oh, please. Where would you be without me?" "I basically manage your entire social life." That was rich, considering her managing consisted of declining invites because the venues weren't Instagram-worthy enough. Month 8 brought the ultimatum. "Brian, I need to know where this is going," she said over dinner. "I'm 27. I can't waste my prime years with someone who thinks success is making a few hundred on Robinhood. It's not Robinhood. It's I don't care. Are you going to be a real adult and get a better job, or are you going to keep playing day trader in your spare time? I'm happy with my job. Then I'm done waiting. Either book us a real vacation by next month. Minimum 1 week, somewhere tropical, 5-star hotel, or I'm moving back to my mom's. That would be about $5,000, I said. So use a credit card like a normal person. Everyone has debt. I'm not going into debt for a vacation. She stood up, tears of frustration in her eyes. You're pathetic, you know that? Absolutely pathetic. I've given you 3 years of my life and you can't even give me 1 week in paradise. I'm sorry you feel that way. Sorry. She grabbed her purse. I'm staying at Vanessa's tonight. Think about what you want, Brian. Me or your sad little fantasy of being the next Warren Buffett. After she left, I checked my portfolio. Up another $800 that day on an NVDA swing trade. Total account was now sitting at $12,000. Not Warren Buffett money, but not bad for a broke boy with a sad little fantasy. Update 3. Monica came back 2 days later with Derek. Yeah, the CrossFit trainer. They waited in the parking lot while she packed her stuff. Really? You brought him here? I asked. I needed someone with a truck, she said, not meeting my eyes. An emotional support. Emotional support, right? She paused at the door with the last box. You did this to yourself, Brian. I gave you so many chances to do what? Spend money. I don't have to impress people I don't know. To be a real man who provides. Derek's taking me to Scottsdale next weekend just because. Good for Derek. She started to leave, then turned back. You know what the saddest part is? You actually think you're going to get rich sitting at that computer. You're going to be alone, 40 years old, still in this crappy apartment, still pretending you're some kind of traitor. Maybe, I said. Guess we'll see. Derek honked the horn. Subtle. Bye, Brian. Enjoy your charts. After they left, I sat at my computer and did what I always did. Analyze the market. It was Thursday night, and I had identified a potential setup on SPY options for Friday. Risk $500 to potentially make $2,000. I took the trade. Update 4. The SPY trade worked. So did the next one, and the one after that. Not all of them. I still lost about 40% of my trades, but my wins were bigger than my losses. And that's all that matters in this game. A year after Monica left, my account hit $47,000. I kept my IT job. Why quit? It was steady income, good benefits, and gave me capital to trade with. Started maximizing my 401k too. Monica always said that was boring old people stuff. Funny thing about learning to trade, it teaches you discipline in other areas too. I stopped eating out, cut unnecessary subscriptions, bought a used bike instead of financing a car. Every dollar saved was potential trading capital. Bro, you've changed, my buddy Tony said at a barbecue. You're like, focus now, just figured some stuff out. Monica's still with that gym guy, don't know. Don't care. That was mostly true. She'd blocked me on everything except LinkedIn. Probably forgot about that one. Through mutual friends, I heard Derek wasn't quite the provider she'd hoped. Apparently, taking her to Scottsdale meant staying at his buddy's apartment and splitting meals. But the real kicker came month 13. I'd been tracking this biotech company, watching it form a beautiful cup and handle pattern. Threw $10K at it with a tight stop loss. It ran 200%. In 3 days, that $10K turned into $30. My account was now over $70, more than my annual salary. That weekend, I did something I'd wanted to do for years. Walked into the Tesla showroom and configured a Model 3, long range, white interior, the whole deal. Will you be financing? The sales guy asked. Nope, paying cash. Writing that check for $54,000 felt surreal, but I'd earned every penny of it. Staring at charts while Monica called me pathetic. Update 5. 2 weeks after getting the Tesla, I was at Whole Foods when I heard it. Brian, I turned. Monica stood there with a basket of organic vegetables, looking exactly the same except for some new gym-sculpted muscles. No Derek in sight. Her eyes went straight to my car keys with the Tesla logo. Hey, Monica. Did you get a new car? Yeah, I picked it up recently. A Tesla? Her voice pitched up. Did you get a promotion or something? Nope, same job. Then how? Remember those charts I was always staring at? Turns out they weren't so useless. She laughed nervously. Wait, you actually made money from that? Some? How much is some? Enough. She glanced at my basket. Just normal groceries. Nothing fancy. Still living like I made $52 a year because lifestyle inflation is how you go broke. We should catch up sometime, she said suddenly. Get coffee. I'd love to hear about your trading thing. I'm pretty busy these days. Come on, Brian. We were together 3 years. We can be friends, right? What happened to Derek? Her face tightened. That didn't work out. He was not who I thought. Sorry to hear that. Actually, I owe you an apology, she said, stepping closer. I was harsh about the money stuff. I was just frustrated, watching everyone else living these amazing lives. And now I realize there's more important things than fancy vacations. I almost laughed. Like what? Like someone's stable, someone's smart, someone who actually has their life together. She touched my arm. I miss us, Brian. We were good together, weren't we? We were something. I'm free Saturday night. Maybe dinner. That new sushi place downtown. The one that's $200 a person. She smiled. I mean, you can afford it now, right? There it was, the moment I'd fantasized about during those long nights studying candlestick patterns. Monica wanting me back, seeing my success, realizing she'd made a mistake. I can afford it, I said, but I'm not interested. Her smile faltered. You're seeing someone. No, just not interested in going backward. Backward? Brian, I'm trying to apologize here. No, you're trying to get back with me now that I have money. There's a difference. Her face flushed red. I'm not that shallow. Monica, you literally called me broke boy for 8 months. You brought your new boyfriend to move your stuff out. You said I die alone at 40, still pretending to be a traitor. I was angry. People say things when they're angry. Yeah, they do. They say what they really think. She shifted tactics, eyes tearing up. I made a mistake. Okay, I admit it. I should have been more supportive. But we had 3 good years, Brian. Doesn't that count for something? It counts for a lesson learned. Which is when someone shows you who they are, believe them. I started to walk away. You're going to regret this, she called after me. You think you're some big shot now because you have a Tesla? You're still the same boring guy who'd rather stare at screens than live life. I turned back. You're right. I am the same guy. That's the point. I was good enough then, and you couldn't see it. Having money didn't change who I am. It just revealed who you are. Whatever. Enjoy your lonely money, Brian. I will, actually. Update 6. That encounter was 3 months ago. Since then, some interesting things have happened. First, Monica apparently went nuclear on social media. According to Tony, who still follows her, she posted a long rant about fake nice guys who get lucky once and think they're Gordon Gekko. Didn't use my name, but everyone knew. Her mom even called me. Yeah, that was weird. Brian, honey, I heard you're doing very well for yourself. I'm doing okay, Mrs. Patterson. Monica's just devastated about how things ended. She really does care about you. I'm sure she does. Maybe you could give her another chance. She's learned her lesson. What lesson would that be? Not to judge people so quickly. With respect, Mrs. Patterson, she judged me for 3 years. That's not quickly. She was young. And you have to admit you weren't very ambitious back then. I was learning a skill that now pays more than my job. That's literally the definition of ambitious. But you didn't tell her what you were doing. I told her every day. She called it playing pretend investor. She laughed at me. You all did. Silence. Well, I think you're being very unforgiving. Probably. Take care, Mrs. Patterson. The second interesting thing, Derek reached out on Instagram. I kid you not. This dude DM'd me asking for trading tips. Said he heard I was killing it in the market and wanted to learn. Offered to train me for free in exchange. I left him on read. But the best part, remember Vanessa, Monica's friend who went to Bali? She texted me last week. Hey Brian, random question, but Monica mentioned you're into investing now. I've got some money saved and no idea what to do with it. Would you mind chatting sometime? Happy to buy lunch. I politely declined. These people only see value in you when you have something they want. Final update. It's been 2 years since that night. Monica told me I was too broke for real vacations. My portfolio is now at $130,000. Still driving the same Tesla. Still living in the same apartment, though I could afford better. Still working the same job. Why? Because I learned something important. Money doesn't fix who you are. It just amplifies it. Monica was materialistic and shallow when I was making 52 colors. Having money wouldn't have changed that. It would have just made her a materialistic and shallow person with nicer Instagram posts. I've started dating again. Met a woman named Janet at a bookstore. She's a teacher. Makes less than I did when Monica called me broke. But she's funny, kind, and when I told her I trade stocks, her response was cool. I do crossword puzzles. Everyone needs a hobby. We went camping last weekend. Stayed in a cabin with no AC. She said it was perfect. Monica, from what I hear through the grapevine, is dating some finance guy now. Good for her. Hope she gets all the infinity pools and sunset dinner she ever wanted. Me? I'm sitting here on a random Thursday night watching futures, planning my next trade. My sad little fantasy turned into a 6-figure portfolio. My broke boy mentality taught me discipline that changed my life. Oh, and that Costa Rica trip I was planning to surprise Monica with, I ended up going alone last year. Stayed in host, ate at local spots, took public transportation, cost me $800 total for 10 days. Best vacation I ever had. Not because it was cheap, but because I finally understood something. The problem was never that I was too broke for real vacations. The problem was that I was with someone who thought my worth was measured by how much I could spend on her. Turns out the best investment I ever made wasn't learning to trade. It was letting Monica leave. She was right about one thing, though. I am still the same guy staring at screens instead of living life. Different... who isn't in your bank account. And sometimes the best trade you can make is cutting your losses and moving on. Trust me.